Everything NYJ Podcast episode 102. We are live. Is things looking up for the New York Jets? Let's talk about it with Italy Jet and Liam. Roll the intro, baby. Well, and here is your host, Liam and Italy Jet. What's going on in Andiamo?
Sure.
He's like, sure.
Yeah, whatever. What's going on? It's been a while.
It's been a bit, hasn't it? It's been interesting.
Yes, feels good to be back though, man.
Yes, it
Glad
has.
to have you back.
What? As everyone doesn't know, I've been gone for 12 days. I've been doing all kinds of content. I've been traveling. I went to a wedding. I went to a couple Mets games, a couple Red Sox games, and I went to the Sunday night football game, Jets versus Chiefs. And let me tell you, in the first quarter, holy crap, I wanted to leave. But then it got more interesting. The night went on, but we'll talk about it. Liam, what were you doing during that game?
I was drinking on my couch, and I was thinking, I remember months ago, I think it was like May or June, you invited me
Yeah.
to this game with you, and I couldn't go because I
Right.
actually had a wedding too,
Right.
and I was like, the time's gonna be really tight. I'm like, so like I'm able to like watch the game, and I'm just saying like Italy's there, but like I'm so glad I didn't go. And
Were you?
I was like, thank God I did not go to this game. Yeah, because like I had my one game. Like I'm not going to another game this year. I don't care. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, like I really thought it was gonna be a blowout. If you guys saw my preview and predictions video, I even said it was gonna be like one of those like 45-3 games. I didn't think the Jets stand a chance, and then magically a switch just turns on, and Zach Wilson looks like a competent NFL quarterback. And if you're looking at Zach Wilson like for what he is, which is a backup quarterback, that's all you can ask for. He played really good. You had that one fumble. Yeah, you want to criticize him for one play. You know
Yeah.
what? No quarterback is perfect. Patrick Mahomes threw 2 interceptions, almost three. Should have been three.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying this a lot lately. If you guys have been watching my videos, if you guys have never watched football before, and you watch that game, like you don't know Zach Wilson, you don't know Patrick Mahomes, you're just watching it for the first time as just a fan. You would have
Mm-hmm.
said Zach Wilson probably has a couple Super Bowls. Zach Wilson looks like the better quarterback between the two.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's turning the corner. If this is something that can continue, which we're going to get into the Denver Bronco game in a couple minutes here, so I'll give my real thoughts on that. But I think that Robert Saleh said it perfect. The Jets could win a lot of games if Zach Wilson could play that way.
And let's be honest, I think he was freaking out that Zach Wilson was going to play in this game. I think he was freaking out that, man, I hope he just plays well. He's putting on that confidence in the press conferences, but let's be honest, he was just as freaked out as we were.
Yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely.
now, wow, just a lot of wow. I mean, let's talk about it. I'm going to go first. I was at that game. It did not look good the first quarter. It just didn't. Everything looked like 17-0. I was like, oh
But
god,
before we get into like the start of the game, what was that atmosphere like? I saw a lot of red on TV, like just like leading up to the game.
Amazing. It
Yeah.
was way better than last year. Way
Okay.
better than the home opener. If you guys went to the home opener, it was cool. Like it was cool, but it felt like I was at a St. Louis Rams game when I was working for them when I was a kid. This time, completely different. Sunday night football. I've been to a few Sunday night football games in my day, and it was everything I wanted, and it was everything that I kind of figured they would do. You got the wristbands that light up. I know me and you have talked about that before, Liam.
I
Very
still have
cool.
it.
Oh, there you go. I threw mine away. I didn't care. So I liked it during the moments, but then I got some pictures. So this is one of the pictures right here.
Yeah.
One of the pictures, MetLife right here. Really cool fireworks show. It was
Yep.
really, really cool. Everything with the fireworks, everything lighting up. Was there too much red? Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, there was
Yeah,
a
on
lot of
TV it looked like it was like almost 50-50. I mean, like
there was a
it
lot of
was.
red, guys. Guys, there was a lot of red. It kind of felt like a big rivalry game in college. Like you got your fans on one side and the other visiting fans on the other side, home and away. It kind of felt like that, but it was just mixed together in one stadium. That's what it felt like. And I hate that because it gives me flashbacks of the St. Louis Rams. So now I'm going in this game 17 nothing, and then we're coming back a little bit. I'm like, you know what? There could be a chance that we could really not solidify, but like this could be a statement to not
Yes.
only us, but the Chiefs and what Zach Wilson has been through. You're bringing in Trevi Simeon. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to try and ball out. And he did. The offensive line held up. You got your playmakers involved. He did do the fumble at the end, but there is growth. He showed off his arm. He ran in for a touchdown. He even ran a little bit himself. And the thing that I think one of the good things about that's a very good strength for Zach Wilson. I mean, you have talked about it, Liam. He doesn't really fumble. He only fumbled like that at the end, but he doesn't really fumble when he's going. When he's like when the people are coming at him, when he scrambles, he's one of the lowest in the NFL. And
Yeah.
that's kind of shocking how much he gets sacked, right? So it was very encouraging. The whole game was encouraging. Came down to the end with the refs. Oh, these freaking refs. But let's look at the mistakes that the Jets made leading up to that point, right? A lot of mistakes, a lot of missed tackles, and you kept Patrick Mahomes in it, Pacheco in it. You kept Scantling in it. The good thing about that was, though, with Mahomes and Kelsey, they weren't really clicking. They were really clicking at
Yeah.
all. And if you notice, if everyone's looking at the film or the all 22, Mahomes 80% of the time had his left side wide open and his players calling for him a lot on the left side, whether it's Gray or Pacheco. 80% of the time. I'm looking at that like, man, if he passed way too much on that left side, this would have been an uglier game, I think, because we weren't covering that great on the left side. But everything else, very entertaining. It sucks with the Mahomes the way he is, man. But 23-20, I can't ask for anything better. I know he lost, but that's encouragement to me. What do you think, Liam?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I kind of like this comment here. This is something that people aren't ready to talk about, but we do not have a top 3 to top 5 defense, man. We don't. We
Yeah.
don't. You want to say top 8, top 10? I'll listen to that. I'm gonna say maybe top 10. I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But this is no 85 Bears, man. I mean, I don't
Mm.
know what it is, but it's every week we're coming out slow. We're coming out flat. We play the soft zone coverage.
Missed tackles. Missed
Yes,
tackles.
yes, yes. The first, whoever the defender is, the first defender never takes anybody down
Yeah.
ever, and it boggles my mind. I don't understand it. I mean, I've been playing football since I was 5 years old. The first thing they
Yeah.
teach you is to wrap the guy up.
Right.
It's simple. I don't know, man. Like that kind of pisses me off a little bit. Uh, that third and 23, that third and 22, whatever it was, that really bugged me. It's just we cannot stop the run to save our life. I don't know what we're doing.
I
I
know.
don't get it.
Pacheco was all over us. Pacheco
Yeah,
and McKinnon, they were all over us. And you didn't see
yeah,
McKinnon that much, but
no.
Pacheco you saw a lot of.
The other thing too is the verdict is out. The New York Jets, it's known now that they cannot stop the run, and that's what teams are going to do. They're eventually just going to run the ball down their throat, and then you get a quarterback like a Patrick Mahomes where he can scramble. And then I swear to God, it had to be at least 8 seconds. I saw him sitting in the pocket, and nobody was even giving him any type of pressure. He had a wide open pocket where he could move a
Mhm.
good 5 feet forward, backward, side to side. Nobody was even getting up in his face. I'm like, what are we doing? So, like, the defense, they got to be better. You want to give them credit for only allowing 6 points after the first quarter? Yeah, go right ahead. But just it's such a disadvantage to put yourself in that situation. You cannot go down 17-0 in the first quarter because you're just, especially with a quarterback like Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, other than that Kansas City game, he's never proven to be a kind of quarterback where he's going to put the team on his back and let's go put a dagger in the heart like Sam Darnold used to say. He's just not
Right.
that kind of guy. So
Yeah.
that kind of pisses me off a little bit, but overall, I'm feeling really encouraged about this offense. This
Yeah.
defense, they did a couple of nice things. How about Ashton Davis getting another interception?
He
That
is
reminded me of the Cleveland game.
I agree, but he's quietly doing pretty good. Like he's quietly
Yes.
getting it done, and we haven't said that really about him.
Never.
Never,
No.
never. So that's
Every year
encouraging.
when we do our 53, we always wonder why he's still on the team. But then he'll have a play like that where he kind of,
Yeah,
figures
yeah,
it out. CJ
yeah.
Mosley, he should have had 2 interceptions.
And I mean, he has an interception, then he'll be quiet the next 5, 6 games. He'll only do a
Yeah.
special teams thing, and that's it.
So with you being at the game, I got to ask you, did you see Taylor Swift?
I saw her on the screen. I did not see her in the booth. I was in front of. I was about 10 rows. I was like in the middle from the end zone and the big jumbotron behind me. I was in the middle. So I was like in the
Okay.
middle of the stadium with the sections. So for me, no. I only saw her on the jumbotron. I did not see her go in. But there were a lot of Swifties there. That pissed me off, but
Yeah, yeah.
it is what it is when you're coming with that territory with the celeb status she has.
Right, and that's just something that's going to continue. But yeah, this is a good point by Joey Bad here saying Jeffs versus refs. That's exactly what it
Yeah,
came down to, man.
yeah,
And I know you don't like to be that kind of guy. I don't like to be the kind of guy that blames the refs, but you just got
yeah,
to call it for what it is. We're going to get into that as we move on with the game. But that I'm sure that stadium got, like, at least on TV it sounded really quiet once they were down in the first quarter. I feel like
yeah,
everybody that was there was saying, "Here we go again," getting blown out
yeah,
on national television. This is why the New York Jets have not been on Sunday Night Football in 12 years.
yeah.
That's
A
probably
lot
what
of booze.
everybody was thinking.
A
Yes,
lot of booze.
and yep, and the offense, they came out flat. What I did like was that yes, they went 3-0, but there was 3 targets to Garrett Wilson right away. And then you gotta love how much Garrett Wilson was targeted. Alan Lazard, he's becoming one of my favorite Jets. He kind of is like that Corey Davis kind of guy, but
Yeah, I love it.
not as bad because he doesn't have to be the number one. If he was your number one, I'd be like, maybe not so great. But he's a very good number two, and you're also seeing him a lot on television too, where he's going up to Zach. He's really mentoring him.
Yes.
He's becoming a locker room leader, which is something you really love to see too.
And let's just be honest, man. Lazard is not only a Corey Davis, but Corey Davis, when he was healthy, he got a lot of targets from Zach Wilson. That's just what's
Yeah.
kind of happening now. And now you're seeing him being a not only a mentor, not only a leader for Zach Wilson and some of these guys on the offense, but it's showing in the game. It's showing with Zach Wilson's arm and what Lazard can do in the red zone. I've been preaching about the red zone for 6 months with unleashing not only Zach, but the tight ends and wide receivers. And that's why you're seeing them blossom right now for a team that is the best team in the NFL. Like
Yeah.
it was, it was, I was shocked the whole time just watching this team going downfield and actually making plays with Zach Wilson, especially with Lazard, putting Wilson in the slot, Liam. You put him in the slot sometimes, and sometimes
Yeah.
things happen. And Brees Hall, man, Conklin, if Conklin would have blocked him, oh my God, he would have been gone. Oh my God, I saw it live right in front of my face, Liam. I was like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah. How about Dalvin Cook? I mean, that experiment has really blown up in the face. I could go without seeing Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Liam. They're not going to give up on that. I mean,
No.
he's getting paid $7 million. There's no way they're going to give up on that unless something really interesting happens. I
Yeah.
think I mean, he said on Twitter, he said on press conferences, he's waiting to break out. He wants to break out. But if I'm the Jets right now, give him one more game, maybe 2 more games, maybe by the bye week. Then you got to make a decision because Carter, man, he looked good except that drop ball. Yeah, one drop ball. That was a pivotal point. But get Izzy in there. What have I been saying? Izzy
Yeah.
is going to be RB2 eventually later this year, but you got to experiment with Carter and Cook first. And look at Joey. Cook is cooked. Right now, as of today, Wednesday night, Cook is cooked. But maybe the Broncos might be a different story.
JR, what's going on, bro?
Hey,
Good to see you
JR.
in the chat. Yeah, something else that I really like to see is that Jeremy Rucker is slowly emerging. He had his best game as a New York Jet Sunday night, and
Yeah.
I really think, I mean, it was nice to see CJ Uzuma get that touchdown, but I think Jeremy Rucker could easily take that spot.
All three of them are good, except
Yeah.
some of the blocking Uzama's been doing. McConklin and Rucker, their blocking has been very good. CJ, I've been saying this about in the red zone. CJ
Yeah.
Uzama in the red zone, baby. Get your tight ends involved in the middle of the field and the red zone, and things just happen. And it's been happening this game. Just keep it going to the Broncos game. Have the exact have a game plan like that involving the running game, because let's be honest, Liam, the running game is there. The running game is there.
Yeah,
Don't
we
put
need
a
more than
clock on
6
him anymore.
carries. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, Robert Sala in his press conference today, what's going on, Dark Soldier? Uh, Robert Sala in his press conference today said that Brees will no longer be on a pitch count, so that's good. And I guess we'll finish like talking about this game here in a second. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on with Miko Hardman. The excuse for the last 2 weeks was they haven't had enough plays to get him involved. Well,
What's up
Sunday
with
Night
that?
Football, they had plenty of plays. I don't get it. He's got to be in the doghouse, and it seems like Robert Sala. It's just whether it's Denzel Mims or it's Elijah Moore, now it's Miko Hardman. There's always somebody that's just in the doghouse with these guys. I don't understand it, man.
Yeah, and it's against his former team.
And what's funny is like we even tried an ending around and it just blew up completely in their face. That was the worst ending around from the New York Jets I've ever seen. That was
Yeah.
terrible. So you definitely wanted to see him get involved. I really thought that we were. Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, this guy. Dark
Yeah.
Soldier.
But yeah, so
Dark
like what
Soldier.
are your thoughts on the refs, man?
They need to get it together. They need to get it together. This is ridiculous. We can't have a Saints issue like it was in the playoffs too. We can't keep they need I mean there's really nothing really to talk about how much they have missed calls and gotten calls wrong, especially after the play. It needs to change. That's just simple as that. We can go on and on talking about it, and eventually it might not make any sense. But as I'm thinking right now, this does make sense that they need to get it together. They
Yes.
can't miss big games like this. Sunday Night Football, the most Sunday Night Football watched in a very long time.
Yeah, since the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah, all season, and we're a month into the season at this point, and I like it like I'm not one of those like NFL is rigged kind of guys, but like it almost feels that way. Like when it doesn't fit their narrative, like the New York Jets, after being insulted and ran through the mud, even Joe Namath coming out, and then you have Rodney Harrison saying that Zach Wilson's trash and he's missing guys and 7-on-7s and one. It didn't fit their narrative to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and it
Facts.
almost felt that way. Because what more does Jermaine Johnson is sitting there to the point where he's punching the guy because he is just face masked for like what felt like a minute straight. It's just crazy.
I
And
agree.
then some people are saying, yeah, well, like the refs gave the Jets a break because that wasn't really a safety. Listen, if like going back to like I said before, if you've never watched football before, I can't explain the rules to you. I
Yeah.
know what's supposed to be holding. I know it's supposed to be pass interference, or
Right.
I know what these plays are supposed to be, but we're just not seeing it. It's not consistent enough. Because then, here's my drunk ass sitting on the couch saying, isn't that a face mask? I guess not. Seriously.
Exactly.
I mean, like I'm half in the bag and I could see it. I
I
don't
agree.
understand. And then like, like I was going off on Twitter. I don't know if you saw my Twitter. I was waiting to get a text from you, saying, hey, chill out. But it's just like it was 11:30 at night. I had to go to sleep. I had to be up at 4 in the morning and I was like ready to punch a hole in my wall. I'm like, I can't do
Yeah.
this. I'm like, we had a chance. We were right there.
I
Your
agree.
best friend Greg Deleg, yes, he missed a field goal.
Yeah.
And but listen, it is what it is. I mean,
but
everybody
that
that watched that game knew that the New York Jets did look like the better team. And like, what's funny is you even have like Dolphins fans and Patriot fans of all people saying the Jets got screwed, which you never hear that. So
No,
that
you
just
never
shows you
do.
how clear it is.
But the Chiefs are becoming the Patriots. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're becoming the Patriots on the favoritism. That's just like what Dark Soldier said. I agree. It's not rigged, but definitely biased. I think it's half and half. I think it's half and half because you saw the same shit with the Patriots every single time when Brady was there, and Belichick, and even Hightower when he was there. I think it's getting 50-50, and people aren't going to stand for that anymore. but there's only so much I can go far with that because the NFL is going to do whatever the hell they want. So
Yeah, well, yeah. Robert
it's not
Sala
going to
voiced
matter.
his opinion.
Oh my god!
Robert Sala got
And
that
then
penalty.
unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I don't know
happy
if you
about that
saw
though.
that.
I'm happy about
Robert
that.
Sala walked right onto the
Oh
field.
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
love that from him. I love that from him. I really did. I'm like, good for you, coach. And then not only that, it's just
I agree.
like I don't want to get the call on. It was probably going to be today. I don't think they even did. Saying, hey,
Right. Right.
sorry guys, my bad. Like I don't want that call. Like if I'm Robert Sala, I'm
Right.
not even answering the phone.
Right.
You
I
know,
agree.
it's
I
just
agree.
it is what it is. I mean, it sucks. But even
But
like,
look, but this though, it's not her fault. But I'm starting to hate Taylor Swift because of how much the NFL is showing her. I agree. I am not a Taylor Swift fan in general. I'm not. I don't like her. I respect her career. She's got a great career. I mean, everything she's done in country music to being pop star, everything. It just sucks that, when you see on Instagram Swifties and stuff, like that's their like profile like thing underneath. It's like, gee,
yeah, it's so
come
disrespectful,
on,
man.
man. NFL, come
And then
on, man.
Woody Johnson saying, "Hey, we're Swifties too." Like,
Oh my
you're a clown, dude. Like, he really is. I mean, it's cool like if you were winning and everything, and it was cool in Hard Knocks when he broke out the chain. But dude, you're
yeah.
105 years old. You look like Joe Biden. Like, can we stop with the chains? Seriously.
Oh my god. If he had a chain. Oh my
Yeah,
god, that's
seriously. I
so
mean, like,
funny.
just stop. Like,
I
he's
know.
such a. You could tell that Woody Johnson was like never the cool kid in school. Like, he's always been like the weird dork. He's always like
Oh yeah.
awkward. Like, just go in your office, like, go sit in your booth and just shut up. Like, I don't need to see a picture of you and Taylor Swift.
What was that his
Sorry,
grandson?
yeah, I think so.
Or was that
Or
his
no,
grandson?
I think that's his son. Believe it
Is
or
it
not,
his
the
son?
freak.
I thought it was his
Yeah.
grandson. I don't know. I'm not. Wow.
Sorry to
But
tell you, but I don't think we're ever gonna be on, like the fans for
yeah,
One Jets Drive now. Sorry, and I just blew that
whatever,
for us.
man. I mean, listen, I have a chain. I have a small chain which says Italy Jet. Like, I think it's cool. Sauce
It's
Gardner,
cool for
the Woody,
you.
but like the
But yeah,
whole
but you're not
Swifties.
105 and senile.
And I don't
That's the
own the team
difference.
either. I don't own the team.
Yeah, like you're not like a multimillionaire that like is supposed to be like respected around the NFL. I mean, like
Mhm.
it
And
was
when you've
cool on
been,
Hard Knocks.
yeah, and when you've been the laughing stock of the league, shit for like ever. So then you're trying to change things, and things are changing, and then you go back to now everything is all about the Swifties now.
Yep.
That's what it is now. It's oh my god, I met a lot of Swifties by the way, and it just hurt. It just hurt talking to them. It just hurt. I'm sorry. It just hurt talking
Thank
to
you,
them.
John. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Job B. But no, it hurt. It just hurt talking to them. I'm like, so you're a Swifty, and all the women that I've talked to, and they're between their 20s and 25s,
Hmm.
and it hurt. I was on the plane, dude. Liam, I didn't tell you this. I was on a plane back. I was on a plane back to St. Louis, and there was this college field hockey team. And they're like, oh my gosh, Travis Kelsey is just so hot. Oh, he's so dreamy. I love Taylor Swift. Let's go, Taylor. And I'm like, oh my God, get me off this plane.
And
Get
you
me
were
off
like,
this plane now.
yes.
No, I wasn't. I was like, cry me a river.
I agree with that. I agree with Joey. I mean, like, yeah, screw Taylor Swift. I don't even think she's that hot, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Joey. Back to our regular program here.
Yeah, so
Let's talk about the Jets team as a whole before we give our Broncos and Jets predictions. The Jets team as a whole, like it says in the title, Liam, things looking up for us. What do you
I
think?
think so.
You think so? Okay.
It's hard because it's Zach Wilson, and I don't want to be that
I
guy,
get that. I get that.
but all I can go, like I'm not, the Jets X Factor kind of guys. Like I'm not gonna sit here and give you like X's and O's and say, well, if Zach would have, ran two yards extra out to the left, this would. I'm not that
Yeah.
kind of guy. I go
Okay.
by the eye test, and
The eye
that's not
test.
a knock on them. I think they do a really good job. I just want to put that
Okay.
out there. I like
Yeah.
that. That wasn't a diss or anything, but
Yeah.
I'm just not that kind of guy. Like the eye test and my knowledge of football and what I've seen of Zach Wilson is yeah, he'll look really good one night, and then he's going to completely regress.
Hmm.
But let me tell you, everything is like, oh, you need to get a couple first down to keep his confidence. If your confidence is that shaky, you don't belong in the NFL. It's just as simple.
Mm.
The NFL is an adversity-driven league.
Mm.
It really is. Like you got to overcome that. I mean, look at Tom Brady in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
against what was it, the Falcons? 28-3 they were down, and they came back and
Yeah.
won. Zach
Exactly.
Wilson would shit his pants. So it's as simple as
Shit
that,
his
man.
pants.
Yes. Yeah, we'd be seeing skid marks on national television. But like it's good though because we got to find a way to keep this up. Like here's what we know now. We know that Zach Wilson can do it. That's
Yeah,
what we know.
I
You know,
agree.
against one of the best teams in the NFL, like
The
what
best
I
team
think.
in the NFL.
Yes, like a top 4 defense, a top 5 defense.
Mm.
They can handle their own, man. And that was just such a winnable game because that's a game that you asked Zach Wilson to play really well, which he did, and you had
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes playing as bad as he possibly could have did. Not to go back to the game aspect, but just
Yeah.
looking at the team as a whole, this team
Facts.
can do stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that this was I'm not gonna say he turned the corner yet, but he's definitely approaching the intersection. And I think this is
Yeah.
really good because of Nathaniel Hackett. I think Nathaniel Hackett has a
Yeah.
little more clear understanding how to call plays now and like what we can do to elevate Zach's game to kind of hide his flaws a little bit. Zach Wilson does look like see it's weird with Zach because some people say like the game's going too fast for him, like he can't digest defenses that quickly.
Yeah.
But then again, like when you're going up tempo, he looks really good at the same time. When he's
Yeah.
not thinking, he goes, listen, I could just go here. But there was a handful of plays, probably even more than a handful, that I just saw on TV. You probably saw it more, where he still was missing wide open guys. But that kind of, everything
Yeah.
gets brushed under the rug because he was making really good. He was throwing dimes. I mean, those throws to Alan Lazard, that ball was put in a place where only Alan Lazard could catch it.
And Conklin and Wilson
Conklin too.
and Brees
Yep.
Hall. All of them.
Yeah.
Uzama, Rucker, dimes.
Yeah,
Dimes.
this isn't the week to bash Zach Wilson. I'm not doing that by any means. I'm just
No,
going
it's
off
fine.
of
Do it.
what
I
I've
don't,
seen
yeah.
in the past. Like
Mhm.
no, I don't want. I want Zach Wilson to succeed. I like
I
Zach.
agree.
I do.
I
And
agree.
like best case scenario, he balls out.
I
So
agree. So
what are you thinking?
I think I saw some good things about Zach Wilson. I saw some things that I get a little bit worried about, but things that about Zach Wilson is everything I wanted to happen. Everything I
Yeah.
want to happen, getting the tight ends involved, getting Brees Hall more touches, getting the red zone in there. The offensive line is the one thing that I was really happy with the most. Tomlinson looked like his old self. Tittman looked like a stud. Becton looked comfortable on that left side. Vera Tucker was out there doing his thing. I was really impressed with that. And the blocking was very good at times. I was like, I'm not
Yes.
used to
Yes.
this. What am I seeing right now?
Yeah.
I
This
wasn't used to
offensive
it.
line. Yeah.
I was not used to it. And the fact that you had a game plan for Wilson to bounce back after the safety. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm seeing. And not only that, you even put Wilson in the slot. I wanted Wilson to get in the slot a little bit more because you got to use him on the sides. You got to use him across the middle. Like across the middle, when he catches the ball, whether he's going to shift right or left, that speed is instant. That he's going to beat you next. It's like Brees Hall going up the middle, but the blocking is very important. Now, as Zach Wilson, this team as a whole, it's one game. It's one
Mm-hmm.
game. Can we continue? Yes, I think we can continue. This is a good game to prove that you need to beat these mothers. You need to beat these motherfuckers. Sorry, excuse
Yeah.
my language, but there's been a history with Hackett there. Peyton with his mouth. You
Yep.
know, they came back and won against the Bears. Okay. But there needs to be a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Yeah. But before we get deeply into that, GVH had a good comment here. He wants to see less Cobb. I don't think Randall Cobb's been a problem. Like I kind of like what I've been
I'm
seeing
fine
from
with
Randall
Cobb.
Cobb.
I'm fine with Cobb. Yeah.
I mean, like I feel like he gets like a lot of unnecessary hate, but like I like Randall Cobb. But would you keep
Yeah.
this offensive line the way it is? Like, would you keep AVT
Yeah.
at tackle? Yeah.
Yeah. McGovern is your only issue. McGovern's the
It's
only issue.
just
Everybody else is
that
fine.
illegal man downfield. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, dude, I
So
don't
silly.
think McGovern knew what he was doing. Let me straight.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
else looked great except McGovern. McGovern, I didn't know what the hell was happening.
Well, Carter Warren is getting healthy again too, so that's it. I wonder if he sees the field at all this year, maybe even as like a rotational
Yeah,
piece. I don't
maybe at
know.
the end. Maybe at the end. Maybe there's some injury, but
Yeah.
I don't see Dwayne Brown coming back in the starting lineup
Yeah, I don't think he can.
Unless the favoritism comes into play.
That's the thing. Robert Sala is just way too loyal to his veterans, so I could
Yeah.
definitely and they love Dwayne Brown, there. So I don't know. I guess that's just going to be a wait and see kind of deal.
Gibson, fantastic with the speed. The trick plays
Yes.
with Gibson, the speed that he has going off the ball. That's what you want to see from a punt, kick returner, and what he's doing in the left and right side. The way he twists his body, kind of like a Garrett Wilson, kind of like a Hardman in his prime. Like he is just keeps reminding me of how like I get that I get going through his head like he's undrafted. You got to prove yourself. Man, what he did with the Bills on Monday Night Football and what he's doing this game. I love that underdog mentality about I'm going to prove you wrong. I love what they're doing with Gibson, and I hope it continues.
He is everything that we wanted Braxton Berrios to be.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right?
But wait a minute.
Seriously.
Wait a minute. Is he better than Berrios?
I don't know. See, I mean, like,
That's
obviously
remain to be
everything
seen,
had
right? Remain to be seen.
Yeah.
Right.
As of
Yeah.
right now, I like Braxton Berrios. I always did. Like,
Right.
I never liked the whole little Crabette thing. Like, I just didn't like that.
Yeah, me
But
neither. Me neither.
I want to see him more in the slot. I want to see him used more though, rather than just on special teams. Like between him and Hardman, I don't know if Mecole Hardman's dead or not. Like seriously, like does he have a pulse? Is he just like
well?
Like is he just like I don't know. Like is the guy alive? That's what I want to know.
Maybe they like Gibson more and Cobb more, maybe. And if it continues to go like this, mark my words, guys. I want to clip this when this happens. He's going to end up back with the Chiefs. He is.
Mecole Hardman.
Yes, if this happens, I think he's going to end up back with the Chiefs if things continue to go the way they are. Because I mean, the Chiefs would gladly welcome back. Kelsey talks about him all the time. They still have love there. But yeah, that's what I think. I think if things are going to continue to happen, Cole will be back with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe trade him at the trade deadline. If you're not going to use him, get rid of him.
I agree.
You have Jason Brownlee that has looked impressive in training camp. Maybe we activate him.
I know.
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know how sexy of an answer that is, but seriously, if you're not going to use him, why are you paying him?
So. I agree, man. So now let's go to the main event.
You said Kelsey. You mean Mr. Pfizer, as Aaron Rodgers was calling him?
Oh my gosh. How funny is that? Them two on the sidelines talking was hilarious.
Dude, he looks great. Not to get off track here, but he's almost walking.
Yeah, but
man.
I don't think we'll see him though this year. He's 40 years old.
There's part of me that doesn't want to. There's part of me that doesn't
I agree.
want to. Just let him let him get healthy.
Yeah, but then when you're desperate though, Liam, then we'll want him back when we're desperate. But right now, just continue to get healthy. Try and get healthy. You
don't want this to linger into next year. God forbid, knock on. I don't even want to knock on wood. I've knocked on wood since he got traded in April. Like my wood has dents in it at this point.
Right.
You don't want to see something happen if he does come back and like he shouldn't be back, and then now this is affecting next year too because then like you really that really becomes a tight window. So I'd rather him especially if Zach continues to play like this. But like you had said, getting into the main event here, why everybody's here.
I agree.
How can anyone deny Hardman's speed, though? Yeah, that's true.
I agree. Yeah.
Here. I understand loyalty to Cobb more than Aaron Rodgers, but about availability to catch versus Hardman supposedly suspect hands. Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I agree, but something's going on. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. We don't know yet, but definitely something's going on. Or they're just playing favoritism with Cobb and Gibson right now. That's what I think. There's something behind the scenes that we don't know about yet, and I think it's going to come out by the trading deadline.
Yeah.
Or maybe the bye week.
No, I agree.
Maybe the bye week. All right. Yeah. Main event, Liam. Main event. Let's go.
Heading into Denver, this is going to be a really big showing from Zach Wilson. Hopefully, Zach Wilson's been hanging out with Donna Kelsey all week. I mean, seriously, like, if we could just keep that going. Oh,
Love it,
I just
love
had to
it,
get that
love it.
out there.
No, you got
But
to.
seriously though, I mean, like, could we win? Could we win this game? Yes. Like,
I
should we
want this
win this
game
game? Yes.
very
Like,
badly.
you want to see play calling of Nathaniel Hackett punching Sean Payton in the face.
Hmm.
Robert Saleh said that he does not believe in bulletin board material. This
Yeah,
is personal. This has got to be personal. And if
for
they don't think
everybody.
yes, if Robert Saleh doesn't think it's personal and Nathaniel Hackett's like, oh, I'm not gonna make a big deal about it, the players should be like in the locker room, like, no, screw that. You attacked our coach. We're going after you. You saw how pissed Aaron Rodgers was. I'm
Yeah,
assuming Aaron Rodgers is going to be flying to Denver. You don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be in that locker room saying, "Hey, listen, keep my coach's name out your mouth. Go get him, boys." Like that's going to be happening. Like I want this defense to go out there and just immediately put a big stop. Force a 3-and-out. Maybe first drive. You force an interception. Here's a good comment. Does Sauce catch a pick during this game? Yeah, I think he should. Sauce Gardner, some people say he's been a little disappointing. Some people are saying he's in a sophomore slump. I don't know what the case is. I don't think he's been terrible, but yeah, he's getting to the point where this was a big criticism of him last year. You need to see more interceptions. You drafted him 4th overall. You can't just be a nice
yeah,
cover corner. Excuse me. That's great
yeah.
that he is. You trust him, but I mean, you have Jerry Judy, who's seems to be I have him on my fantasy team, and I absolutely hate him. I just can't get rid of him at this point. But it's like every week he's questionable. You have Sutton. So like they have a really good team on paper, but for whatever reason they just can't put it together. Miami dropped 70 on them. I don't think we're gonna do that. I'd love that,
No,
but I don't
no,
think
but
that's gonna happen. But
and then Gonzalez before he got injured for the rest of the year, and they brought JC Jackson back.
yep,
With JC Jackson, he's got loss. He's got issues off the field. There's something
I
going on
think
with him
they
off the
I think
field.
they
So
released him today. He went back to New England today.
they did, but he's having off the field issues. It's something to do with the law. So I don't really know what else with that's going on. But Gonzalez, before he got injured, he was better. He's been better than Sauce Gardner, in my personal opinion. I think now since he's gone, Sauce can come back, and I think Sauce is actually going to do pretty. I think Sauce is going to get an interception this game. Either that or Carter two. Carter 2 is going to get an interception this game. He should have had an interception before the damn holding call, but yeah,
Yeah.
Carter has had a couple missed blocks. Gardner has gotten beat a couple times, but it seems like they do bounce back at the end of the game. It seems like when it
Mhm.
counts, just like with that interception with Carter 2, I think those two will get interceptions. I really do.
Yeah, no, definitely. And not only that, Denver's defense is like amongst the worst in the NFL. This
Mm-hmm.
could be a really good game that Zach Wilson can kind of keep rolling here, and you really build up his confidence going into the
Mm-hmm.
bye week now. You get
Yeah,
a big win.
yeah,
And we said this last year too, but after the bye week, the schedule does get easier.
it does.
And like
Yeah,
this is still a team that could win 9, 10 games. Like,
I
I
agree.
mean, I'm not gonna get into the whole schedule prediction here, but like,
No,
starting off with
don't.
Denver,
Yeah.
one game at a time. This is
Facts,
a very
bro.
winnable game.
Facts.
Sean Payton came in talking all this junk, saying, Nathaniel Hackett, blah, blah, blah. Last time I checked, Nathaniel Hackett never gave up 70 points last year as the head coach for the Denver Broncos.
True. Yeah,
You know,
especially in the
so,
beginning like this, it's awful.
but I think it's really important. And if we win the coin toss, I want to get the ball. I want to immediately establish some dominance where you just drive down the field and you score a touchdown and you really set the tone because the defense, they have not proven it done yet. Maybe they could do that this week, but if it's my call, I'm putting the offense on the field. I'm saying, go do your thing, boys.
Mm, okay. I like where you're going with that, but I think I would want the ball back in the third quarter. That's just me. I think establishing in the third quarter to really pick it up because this is where I'm going with this. I think we could win 40-20.
Okay.
Everything comes alive in the fourth quarter. That's what I think. It's going to be a tight game until the fourth quarter. Now they came back and won against the Bears. Okay, they came back. They were down a lot. They were down and they come back. It's like, oh wow, damn, against the Bears. Woo.
Yeah.
So and then they won. So they're coming off a win. They're coming off fired up,
Hmm.
right? we're coming off of, we see what Zach Wilson can do when you build a team around him and let him loose a little bit. But he's still going to make mistakes. Russell Wilson is still going to make mistakes. Technically, we have the better team on paper, but out there on the field is a whole different story. In the Broncos, it's becoming a little bit of a rivalry, a little bit, right? So Dara Tucker is going to be motivated. Breece Hall is going to be motivated. That's where they got injured last year. All the Hackett crap, that's going to be motivation. Aaron Rodgers with the Broncos, that's going to be some motivation behind the scenes. Like, this game means a little bit more to the New York Jets team as a whole than a lot of people think. So I think this is a game where I think it's going to be tight. Then we're going to come out alive in the fourth quarter. Hope I'm right. Oh my God, I hope I'm right. But it's going to be interesting.
I don't want it to be tight. I want it to be a complete blowout. And like,
I think we all want it to be, but knowing the New York Jets and the Broncos, who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I don't care how they win. I think they won like 16-9 last year or something like that. But even like you take away all the personal stuff with Nate Hackett and just like all like everything that's making this game like, ooh, like, this is gonna be good. The New York Jets coming out pissed off, knowing that they should have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's something that's gonna translate over, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, watch us get this win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if like the whole Nate Hackett thing didn't happen and Sean Payton, blah blah blah. If all that didn't happen, I still think that would definitely be something to be motivated about. And the New York Jets have no reason not to be motivated because the locker room I don't think is really so much in shambles anymore. Like, I think Zach Wilson proved that, like, hey, if it's not the Kansas City Chiefs, like, even if it was like, you could win with me. I could lead a team. I think that's something that's really important. I think that really we're gonna have to put that on display. I want to see Breece Hall get involved more because this should be kind of like a Breece Hall revenge game because, like, yes, he was out for the season. He had that injury last year with the ACL. You want to see a situation because, like, you could argue that he was robbed of Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was playing probably better than Garrett Wilson up to that point last year. So I really think that this is something, But I mean, Abby's back in the show. What's going on? Yeah, I believe in Zach. You should. I mean, it's only one game, but you could only go off of like the most. You're only as good as your last game, as your last performance. That's like always been like the statement right there. So I think that's definitely something to consider.
Yeah, this one's funny as hell. I love this one.
But
and then this one right here. And Denzel so he did something right. And he's now Denzel Mims is on the Steelers practice squad. So see what happens. Go moving forward with that. So
your score prediction is
good one, bro. So what are you predicting? I said 40-20.
40-20. I'm gonna say 35 Jets, 17 Broncos. I never get these things right ever. Like, I'm never even close.
I mean, who doesn't?
It's fun though. It's fun to do this.
It's fun. I have confidence. I hope I'm right, but I am expecting a tighter game. But I just think in the fourth quarter, something's magical. Magical.
Yeah.
Now
I want to see Zach Wilson have the best game of his career.
I agree. Throw that bomb downfield to Wilson or Lazard, and let's pick it up from there. All right. Closing thoughts. Take it away.
Let's go get a W, baby. Seriously. I want to see Zach Wilson ball out. No turnovers, no fumbles. Just Zach Wilson. I'm rooting for him. Give us a reason to root. Come out, defense. Come out with some motivation. Seriously. Come out with some fire in your belly. You should be pissed off. You should be pissed off.
I agree.
I'm keeping it simple, Go punch Sean Payton in his mouth.
I want to go that
Not
remember
literally.
The Titans moment. Someone on defense go to Sean Payton up and be like, I want you. Remember the Titans, Gary Bertier.
Yeah, I want you.
Someone do that and just, oh man. Like I said, guys, I really think Zach Wilson is going to be a little bit better in this game. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles himself, even in the fourth quarter. If he played like he did against the Chiefs, except for that fumble, I think we're going to see a victory. But like I said, predictions, right? We're either right or wrong. But overall, I do feel confident and I do feel good. So let's just keep it rolling with that. Guys, follow my man, Liam, on Instagram, right here. Official Liam Johnson. I don't know why he does the official stuff, but hey,
I'm official.
It's Liam Johnson. You can follow me right here on all social media platforms except TikTok or TikTok, whatever you want to call it. Everything New York Jets. Comment, like, comment, subscribe. Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. I'm losing it.
Missouri, baby.
I'm Missouri, Italy, Missouri. And then here we go. Follow us right here on these social media platforms. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week. Let's get this Jet dub on Sunday.
Real quick.
Shut up.
On Instagram? Instagram?
Shut up.
Okay. I'll tell you.
Okay, go on. What?
Just real quick on Instagram. Don't follow me if you're like one of those like Bitcoin like bots, please, because I've been getting so many of those. So please. I'm not gonna be buying Bitcoin from you off of Instagram. But anyway, have a good night, everybody.
It's caught in the crossfire.